you're going to yodel for us today?
Oh.
I thought I'd talk you into it.
Not much. After I do this, you'll find out why people don't yodel anymore. Why it isn't popular anymore. The yodel blues, I'm going to do it anyway. Way up in New York City, they talk a different style. So busy making money, they ain't got time to smile. It was so doggone crowded, I felt so hemmed in there, that I came right back to Spruce Pine to get a breath of air. Oh, the yodel, got the blues. The yodel, just for you. The yodel, and the sweetest little home I ever knew. Oh, the yodel, when I'm alone. The yodel, don't you know? The yodel, and I'll sing the yodel blues. Now they talk a different language. They speak a different brand. Where we say plum delighted, they always say how grand. We say a thing's real pretty, they call the same thing chic. Well, they might as well be talking Italian or Greek. Oh, the yodel, got the blues. The yodel, just for you. The yodel, and the sweetest little home I ever knew. Oh, the yodel, when I'm alone. The yodel, don't you know? The yodel, and I'll sing the yodel blues.
Well, I tell you, Lily, we got another song coming up right away. I hope you settle down after getting all yodeled up there with your voice. Because here's one we haven't done before, just for old time's sake.
Although I know you said goodbye to me, I can't help thinking how it used to be. I guess I'll always be in love
Well, hope you've enjoyed our tribute to Lula Belle and Scotty. Early Country is a Thomas Dial production.
See you all right soon, folks.
Front and center, here she is, Lula Belle. Hi, Lula Belle.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, how are you?
I'm just as scared as an old cricket.
Well, I want you
Old cricket, Mike.
you noticed the old part came out there. You didn't have to say that. You're not in Chicago tonight, are you?
No, oh no, we have been in Florida since October down at Marco Island.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband just went out fishing. We had some friends come down from Spruce Pine, where we live in the summertime, and he just took them out fishing.
Is that in a boat, or do you cast from the ocean beach, or what?
No, we live right on the water, on the canal, right across from the big marina here.
I
And
see.
he just pulls up to our dock and gets in, and out he goes.
Oh, you're a long way from the Windy City. How many Saturday nights, did you ever calculate how many Saturday nights of music you did in Chicago? That'd be a lot of them, wouldn't it?
Good Lord. No, never even thought about it. But it turns out to be 25 years anyway.
25 years that you spent of your life, more or less, in Chicago, on radio, on national radio. And Lula Belle, before we go any further, I want to say that you were part of the golden age of broadcasting just as much as Burns and Allen or Jack Benny or Bing Crosby or even The Shadow.
Yeah, well, that's right. We were all around at the same time.
That's right. And wars and peace and depression and changing styles of music and the whole works, but you survived and were successful. And we might as well go back now, if we can. When did Lula Belle, which is not your real name, when
I'd
did...
rather you call me that than Myrtle.
Myrtle Cooper? Your real name is Myrtle, huh?
Myrtle Eleanor.
And how did Myrtle Cooper end up going from North Carolina, which is quite a ways, from Chicago? How did you get to Chicago to start with?
Well, my father was one of these people who wanted to travel all the time. We would go from town to town. He would contract to build a house or to build a filling station or a restaurant. He would build that house, and when that was finished, we were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to Florida. We were here in 1926 when we had the big hurricane, and we finally got out of that and started up north. And it took us about 2 years to get to Chicago from the time we left Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I have to tell you what all we had with us. We love pets in our family. So Daddy fixed, we look like a bunch of gypsies, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy fixed a cat box that was open, so we had 7 cats. 7 cats, a dog, a white rat, a little chicken that laid an egg every day on the running board, and us 2 kids. And we had a Chandler Roadster.
Oh, well, that'd be rare. I've never even heard of that.
Well, they didn't even they haven't made them for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But we started out, and we got as far as Tennessee, got up to Elizabethton, Tennessee, and ran out of money.
Mm-hmm.
And Daddy had to stop and try to find a job, get work. We stayed there about a year and a half, I guess. And I got a job. I got kicked out of school because I was a Democrat.
Oh.
I did get kicked out of school, not literally, but the teacher. That's a very Republican district there.
Now we're talking
My
Tennessee?
family were hot Democrats.
Now, we talking Tennessee or Kentucky?
We're talking about Tennessee right
All
now.
right. All right.
And so I was in the 8th grade, and the teacher would get me into an argument every morning because he was a good Republican and he knew I was a Democrat because Mom embroidered it on my dress.
No doubt about that, huh?
So one day, he'd get me every day. He'd pick on me about, get me into an argument.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go home and tell Mom, and she'd say, well, you just say so-and-so back to him.
Yeah.
You know, don't take that from him. And she shouldn't have done that because I thought to myself, he was going to whip me. And I said, oh, no, sir, you're not. And he said, well, if I don't whip you, you're going to take your books and go home and not come back. And I said, well, you know what I'll do. And that's what I did. That was my last day of school, 8th grade.
8th grade was it for Lula Belle, for Myrtle
Yeah.
Cooper, I should say. You know, Lula Belle was a name that was going to come later. Now, all this time that your family is traveling between places like Florida and on up the coast and then on over to places like Tennessee, Elizabethan Tennessee, you are also learning how to perform music. Was that part of the family thing, or was this something you did on your own?
Well, Daddy played a fiddle. He saw it on it. He didn't play very well. And Mom was one dear soul who sang all the time as she went around her work, little chores, keeping house. I'd follow her around and listen to her sing. And she knew a lot of these songs that she taught me that I used on the barn dance when I got there. I was 1932 I started.
Uh-huh.
And I never had any lessons. A boyfriend bought me a little old guitar, a little old cheap guitar, and Daddy could chord a little bit on the guitar, so he taught me how to play G and C.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time I was 17.
Well, now, I have a song that I want to play by you that was one of the first numbers, I guess, that you did on the barn dance, and you might tell me where you learned this song or where it came from as far as the way you performed it. I Wish I Was a Single Girl Again.
Now, wait a minute, young lady. Now, wait a minute, just for that. You are elected to Yodeling City right now. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to. Yeah, there you are now. What's the song?
Well, I wish I was a single girl again, and if Scotty's listening in, I'm only kidding. He's listening, I know. Oh, when I was single, I used to be afraid no one would ever wed me, and I'd die a sorrow maid. Now I'm married, and I set me down to weep, 'cause my husband chews tobacco and he snores in his sleep. Oh, I wish I was a single girl again. When I was single, I had fellers by the score, but now I am married and they don't come back no more. Now that I am married, my husband is a brute. He made me sew some buttons on his flannel undersuit. Oh, I wish I was a single girl again. When I was single and he used to come to court, he always brought me candy and I thought he wasn't bored. Now we are married and oh, what do you think? He bought a gingham apron and he sent me to the sink. Oh, I wish I was a single girl again. Oh, I wish I was a single girl again. I don't do it. Oh, when I was single, I was jealous as a shrew of the women with their babies, 'cause I wished I had one too. Now I've got a baby, he's as sweet as any rose, but ain't it aggravating when you have to clean your nose? Oh, I wish I was a single girl again. Oh, I wish I was a single girl again. Oh, I wish I was a single girl again.
Now, when you came to the National National Barn Dance in 1932. First of all, I think you just were there for a little bit, and then you came back on more of a regular basis a little later. Is that true?
They, when they finally decided to give me a job, they decided I had something. They didn't know what it was, but they'd give me the job.
Uh-huh.
And they put me on Smile While program, which was a 5:30 to 7 o'clock program they had on every weekday.
Mm-hmm.
And they put me on that. I guess I was on that for 3 or 4 times. And then Mr. Bigger, who was the program director,
Yes.
decided that they'd give me a chance on the barn dance, see if it went over.
Mm-hmm.
So they introduced me as Red Foley's girlfriend had come up from Kentucky, because I heard him singing on the radio, and I wanted to be on the radio too.
Uh-huh. And so you started out kind of as a partner of Ramblin' Red Foley, is that right?
Yeah. John Lair, who was my manager and also Red's, I think they gave John the job of trying to give us an act so we could teach us some songs, that we could do little duets. And he did. There was one going out west this fall, and Hi Rinktum Minktum Doodle Dummy Dum, and another one. We only had 3 or 4.
Oh, I have, from the research that I have done, I find that the first records that you made were for the Sears Roebuck label, the Conqueror label, in March of 1934, and it says on the record label, guitar by Ramblin' Red Foley.
Right.
And that's Little Black Mustache and Daffy Over Taffy, I believe. The first ones you did, and he kind of helped you out. And he was known as...
He did. You see, I didn't... The union wouldn't allow me to join the union for quite a while. And you couldn't play your guitar on the air at that time. Mr. Petrillo wouldn't allow it.
Why was that? Why would that be?
Well, they wanted to get everybody... They didn't want hillbillies, as they called us, to get too big in the union.
Oh, I see. Well, of course, the fact is, I might say this. As far as I'm concerned, the National Barn Dance was never a hillbilly show. It was just a show for all kinds of people to enjoy, don't you think?
Well, yeah, it was. It was different from what it was like, sort of like the Opry was before it got to the big Fritz Britney.
Right. Well, I have a song by Red Foley because